Well, hello everybody. It is halftime of the Seahawks-Rams game right now. Just went into halftime, and let's just go ahead and do this right now because we all know where this is going, guys. We all know where this is headed. The only thing we can hope for at this point is no injuries and some sort of mercy that keeps this from being the most humiliating loss of the Super Bowl era. Um, yeah, this is going to be a time for venting. This is going to be a time for saying some shit that I might regret tomorrow. I don't care. This is unacceptable no matter what is going on with this team right now. So, this is not going to be a video talking about what we need to do in the second half or what we need to do in the last two games. This is going to be a video to talk about next year. And I want everybody out there to keep one thing in mind throughout all of your Seahawks-related doings for the rest of this year and this offseason. John Snyder went all in to win this season. Not next year, not the year after, not in the next 5-year window. John Snyder went all in to win a Super Bowl now. And this team is not going to make the playoffs. This team will probably finish with 9 wins, maybe 10. Maybe they get in by luck, but I have no hope right now. I see a 9-win team. And this team went all in before the season started. So, there's a long list of people that need to be seriously complained about because not only with what I just said about John Snyder, this was the game of the year. This was the game of the year that would probably decide the division, decide playoffs. This was the game. So, for us to go down by 5 touchdowns in the first half, a half, by the way, where the defense barely did anything wrong. It took them basically 29 and a half minutes for the defense to actually do something wrong. And we're still down by 5 touchdowns. So I'm going to hold some people accountable for that. A lot of people. Where do you guys want to start? Let's just start with the offense. Russell Wilson, thank you for showing up and playing like you got a concussion this morning when you fell out of bed. The fumbles, the missed throw to Baldwin, a couple other missed throws, the missed throw to Richardson, 2 fumbles, including one where he just threw the ball backwards for no reason, a fumble where he just left the ball on the ground when he could have just hit Doug Baldwin, who was open, throwing the ball when he's already 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. Just, a great way to show up at home in the biggest game of the year against your hated division rival. So thank you for that. So offensive line, go to hell, all of you. I take back everything nice I said about you guys. I saw signs of improvement, but today everything has gone to hell. Cannot run block, cannot pass block. Even Dwayne Brown is giving up sacks. He's giving up penalties. Jermaine Ifedi jumping off, false starting at home like a piece of shit that he is. Ethan Posick, get in the weight room this offseason, buddy. We need you to get a little stronger. Just an absolute disaster from an offensive line that I thought was improving. Today they are proving me wrong. Right now, I can't say anything good about any of those guys. I can't say I want any of them back next year. That's how bad today is. That's how much I have to reckon with everything I said before this game. I believed in these guys. They're letting me down. Extra special fuck you to Tanner McAvoy, who has done it on both sides of the ball today. He had a fumble on the third offensive play of the drive on a big third down conversion. Fumbles it, gives it to the Rams in field goal range, completely changes the direction of this game, and he is a disaster covering punt returns. The Rams have had like 4 big punt returns in the first half already. Tanner McAvoy is to blame for a lot of it. We could have kept Cason Williams on the roster in the preseason. Instead, we decided to keep this guy, and he has been one of the worst players in football this year. So that is a big double fuck you to Tanner McAvoy. Get off this team. Walk home. Don't come back next week. Done. Defense. I was going to lay off these guys. I really was. This game mostly hasn't been their fault, but cannot tackle, cannot fill their lane assignments. Early in the game, we were getting some pressure on Goff, but then the game got away, and now Goff is just camping back there in the pocket. He's knitting sweaters back in the pocket, and nobody can get back to him. The coverage, so many busted coverages. It's the tackling that's really getting to me, though, guys. We've had, I swear to God, 10 missed tackles today. I've never seen it this bad for this team. And that, even with all the injuries, is completely inexcusable. The only reason the Rams don't have like 40 points is because they did that stupid fourth down play when they should have just given it to Gurley. And, yeah. And special teams, an extra hard screw yourselves to you guys. You guys are the terrible. Blair Walsh, you haven't even done anything today, but go to hell anyway. John Ryan is washed up beyond belief. He's kicking 40-yard line drives every single play. Coverage units suck ass. So that's pretty much the whole team, guys. Shout out to Mike Davis. He's doing his best out there. Shout out to Doug Baldwin for getting open a couple times and Wilson just missing him because he decided he didn't want to show up for the frickin' first half like he usually does, which is getting on my last nerve. Shout out to J.D. McKissick. He showed up today. He made a couple nice plays in the passing game. Shout out to Justin Britt, the one guy on the offensive line who seems like he's delivering today. Frank Clark had a strip sack. That could have been a big deal, so good job, buddy. What else? Is there anybody else I can say anything good about right now? Not really. This is horrible. Oh, and fuck you to the officiating. Cannot get a call for an illegal block in the back on a punt return that, really destroyed this game, that really opened things up. You guys are terrible at your job. Again, we're not getting a single call at home. It obviously wouldn't have helped us today, but not good. And, yeah, guys, it's time to stop thinking about this season. Whatever happens the last 2 weeks, even if we win out and make the playoffs, this team is not good enough for what John Snyder invested. Brian Snyder, you need to go by the end of this year. I do not. If Brian Snyder is still the special teams coach at the end of this season, I'm done. I give up on John Snyder as a general manager and Pete Carroll as a head coach. They don't know what they're doing if they decide to keep Brian Snyder around. I'm no hate to Darrell Bevell, really. I can't hate the man. I'm ready to move on. Tom Cable, ready to move on. A lot of these players don't need to be here next year. There's just so much stuff to complain about that first half, but absolutely disgusted by the effort I'm seeing at home in what was basically a playoff game. And I don't care how bad this team is. I don't care if I'm rooting for the Cleveland Browns. You're not supposed to go down 34-0 in the first half. Unacceptable on all three levels, plus coaching. And I'm not even really going to make a post-game video. I don't care about anything that happens in this second half. If we come back and win, then I'm not even going to make a video about it. I'm just disgusted. And I don't want to get any comments this week defending these players, defending these coaches. I know they've done great things for us. I know they may do great things for us in the future. Today's not the day to talk about that shit. Today is the day to dig into these motherfuckers for doing this in the biggest game of the year. I'm not used to this ever since Wilson and Carroll got here. This team doesn't show up like this, and today they have, so you have to question everything. Every coach, every player with like 5 exceptions, it can all go after this one. All right, I'm out. I'm going to watch the second half, I think, because it's my team, but this is disgusting. And John Snyder, get the pink slips ready. You invested hella hard in this team, and they did not produce what you were hoping for. So, yeah. This is happening, guys. It's end of an era. End of an era.